Leading off for the Lions, number 25, Caleb Ramsey.
Welcome back to Ken White Field for the second game of this doubleheader between the Reinhardt Eagles and the Bryan Lions. Game one was an absolute classic, going all the way into extra innings. Barry Iceman with the walk-off home run to propel Reinhardt to their 31st win of the season and keeping Reinhardt within striking distance for first in the Appalachian Athletic Conference. Entering today, Reinhardt and Tennessee Wesleyan tied with 6 losses apiece. Johnson with 5. Of course, anything can happen. Every game matters for those 3 squads. Bryan right behind them at 4th, now with 9 conference losses. Very important series on both sides. Both teams have plenty of reasons to try to put themselves in position. Swing and miss for strike number 3 for the man on the mound, number 33, Adam Christopher. Christopher having a very strong season thus far for the Reinhardt Eagles. He's really showed himself to be a very consistent member of this Reinhardt group. That pitching staff, they returned plenty of talent. Adam Christopher, one of the major pieces that they were relying on coming into the year, and he has delivered. Redshirt junior from Porter Ranch, California, formerly of Loyola Marymount University. And Christopher, his numbers, 3.44 ERA, a 5-2 record. As this one pops up and drops in the left field. So it's going to be a base hit for Morton.
Now batting number 44, Will Curcio.
So Morton getting himself on board here. We're going to see if he's going to be able to take advantage. Bryan is going to be able to strike first. It took Bryan 5 innings to get something on the board in that last game, but once they did, they were able to parlay that into a big-time momentum swing, and they were ahead for most of the later stages until a home run came from Cade Shamlee to extend the game into extra innings. And once there, of course, Barry Iceman sealed the deal with a walk-off homer. Swing and missed here from Curcio, the first baseman. Curcio was unable to record a hit in the first game of the series, first game of the doubleheader, rather. Count right now is 0-2. Adam Christopher, this is his 3rd year as a member of the Reinhardt Eagles, but just his 2nd year on the field. He suffered an injury a few seasons back, and last year was his first time playing, rounding into form as Christopher throws another strike. 2nd strikeout of the game for Adam Christopher. But last season featured him kind of rounding himself into form, and this year we're starting to see him at his very best. Adam Christopher now in his 7th start this year. And I saw it when I was given the pleasure of calling a few postseason games and seeing the war of attrition that takes place over the course of those weeks-long situations. And you talk about Appalachian Athletic Conference tournament play, the NAIA opening round. In general, when you get into the postseason, it is a war of attrition. It's all about the teams that have the depth to withstand that attrition, and depth especially important within your pitching staff. As we see here, Morton stealing 2nd, able to beat that throw from Juan Pablo Morales. But the teams that have depth in their pitching staff. They have a leg up when you talk about being able to play great into late April, into May, and really establishing yourself as a true contender. So a guy like Adam Christopher, very important for this team in their World Series chances. Count is now 1-2. Cook, the outfielder, at the plate. Cook 0 for 4 in the first game of this doubleheader. Count 1-2. Christopher deals. This one a ground ball. A nice play made by Dryden House, and he steps on the bag calmly for out number 3. That's going to retire the side. Christopher able to keep that Bryan lineup at bay. Reinhardt, they'll get a chance next. Phelps, Dion, Boscarino do up for the Eagles.
If you could only see the way she loves me, maybe you would understand why I feel this way about our love and what I must do. If you could only see how blue her eyes can be when she says she loves me. Well, you got your reasons and you got your rights and you got your manipulations. They cut me down.
Leading off for your Reinhardt Eagles, number 10, Robert Phelps.
Resuming play here in the bottom of the first, Reinhardt and Bryan waiting to see who's going to break the ice between these two squads in this one. And it's been a great series so far. Reinhardt had a few record-breaking performances in the first iteration as Robert Phelps is able to get on the board with a base hit.
Now batting, number 6.
Led things off with a single in the first game of this doubleheader. Now Phelps doing the same here. Actually a triple in the first game. Now a single. Nonetheless, 2 straight games with leadoff hits from Robert Phelps, and that's something that we have been accustomed to seeing from him over the course of this year. But Reinhardt had a few record-breaking performances in the first game of the series. Nash Kroll breaking the career home runs record. Andrew Herbert breaking the career strikeouts record. And of course, last game, if anyone wants to go back and see that one, those who are unable to join us for it, you will not be disappointed. It was an absolute barn burner. Went deep into extra innings. Barry Iceman, of course, hitting the home run to walk it off for Reinhardt. This series has given us everything that we could have wanted so far. 2 teams with a lot to play for, trying to put themselves in position Luca Boscarino at the plate, wasn't able to record a hit in the last game and flies out to center field to start for this one. 2 outs now on the board. Adrian Vargas now coming up to the plate. Vargas in the last game, 0 for 4. So Vargas still looking for his first hit of the day. Going to see what he can do. The Bryan Lions again. At this point in the year, it's all about resume. You're trying to build your resume. Being able to get wins against teams like Reinhardt can go a long way towards giving yourself a chance to be selected for the NAIA playoffs, the NAIA opening round. As that throw escapes the grasp of the first baseman Curcio, that allows Phelps to get himself into scoring position. He's now at second. And it was just a golden chance for Bryan that just slipped through their fingers. Holding a 3-2 lead, 2 outs on the board, full count, and Cade Sham Lee extends the game. Reinhardt able to dash their hearts. Just after that, as that one goes straight to the player for out number 3. That's going to retire the side and end the inning. Through 1, still scoreless. Bryan looking to break the ice.
Leading off for the Lions, number 27, Chris Hall.
Resuming play here in the top of the second inning, the Bryan Lions and the Reinhardt Eagles deadlocked, still looking to see who's going to be the one to break the ice. The designated hitter, Hall, now up to bat. His first at-bat of this day. Did not have an AB in the first game of this doubleheader. Bryan hoping that he can provide some sort of spark for them. He enters into the lineup with Bryan already having lost the series. Still a chance, though, again, to secure a big-time resume boost with a win over the Eagles. Count right now standing 0-2. Hall's going to hit this one, and the throw from Sham Lee, is it in time? Yes, it is. The throw is made in time, but it seems like Sham Lee might have been shaken up a little bit on the play. That was a nice job by him to secure it. Unfortunately for him, he may have come on the wrong end of that one.
Now batting
He's going to shake it off. He appears to be okay. Shamli really putting his body on the line for that play. We're going to check in around the AAC. So Tennessee Wesleyan, they're in a series right now against Cumberland University. That series is not a series that will impact the conference standings. So their 18-6 conference mark will stand going into the final weekend of the season. Johnson Royals are in a series against St. Andrews, and right now in the top of the 8th inning, they're ahead against the Knights 5-4. So we'll monitor that game, see how it concludes. Milligan from Tennessee entered today with a 13-10 conference record. Milligan dropped the first 2 games against Columbia International University. Right now in a game against CIU, they're ahead 3-1. This one hit in the right field. Iceman makes a nice catch over the shoulder for out number 2. Morris, the backstop, coming up to bat. Morris went 1 for 3 in that last game. And right now, at least the tenor of the game appears to be very similar as Shim Lee easily corrals it and makes a nice throw in time for out number 3. The tenor feels very similar to the way that things felt in the last game. And both pitchers really controlling things early on. We're going to see which team's offense strikes first. Reinhardt, hoping it's them. They're going to have another opportunity coming up.
Leading off for your Reinhardt Eagles, number 12, Jacob Manto.
Resuming play now in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Score still deadlocked at 0. Waiting to see who's going to be the one to break the ice. Jacob Mantooth now at the plate. Mantooth had a big-time solo home run for Reinhardt in that last game that kept them within striking distance against Bryan. Right now, Mantooth behind on the count, 1 and 2. Manto, very well hit ball, going back, and it's over the wall. It's gone. Home run, Jacob Manto. Manto, his second home run of the day. This one puts Reinhardt on top, 1-0.
Now batting, number 31, Iceman.
Manto, he's now into double digits in home runs. That was his 10th home run of the year. Just a phenomenal season for Jacob Manto, and it continues here today. He has been everything that Coach Burton could have asked for, stepping up in that DH spot. Speaking of stepping up, Barry Iceman, this is going to be his first AB since his walk-off homer that came just around 45 minutes to an hour ago against the Bryan Lions. This one is going to be clipped into the infield. The throw will be made in time for out number 1.
Now batting, number 16, Juan Pablo Morales.
So now for the first time today, we're going to get a chance to see Juan Pablo Morales at the plate. Morales coming into this game batting 196 with 5 RBIs, 2 overall runs scored. The man on the mound for Bryan, number 12, Tanner Everett, the junior from Pikeville, Tennessee. And this one is going to be hit straight over near the barn. It's going to be foul. Count is 2-1. Reinhardt today without the services of Nash Kroll, who had that record-breaking performance yesterday. Wasn't in the lineup for game 1, and not in the lineup for this one either. So the Eagles trying to pick up some of the slack that he leaves due to just how phenomenal he's been throughout this season. That was very well hit by Morales. Unfortunately for him, goes foul. And when a player like Kroll is not in the lineup, the main thing that you don't want players in your lineup to do is to put extra pressure on themselves. You want them to continue to play at a high level, continue to give themselves and give their team a chance. But with that, you also have to understand that, yes, you're missing a large part of your group. So it's not so much of just replacing that production. It's just doing what you do well and doing more of it. Morales hits one in the right center field that gets corralled for out number 2.
17, Dryden Howe.
Dryden House, the man at first today, coming up to bat. House, this is going to be his first plate appearance of the game. He was unable to record a hit in the first game of this doubleheader. Went 0 for 3. This is going to be a chopper. Nice job by Everett to cover, but the throw is wild. The first baseman, that was Curcio, trying to deliver the throw to Everett, and he just was unable to make it cleanly. So House is safe by way of that E3. House now at first. Cade Shamlee coming up to bat. Shamlee also deserves some recognition as one of the heroes of the last game, coming up with the major solo home run that extended the game into extra innings. And that home run, full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs on the board, literally all or nothing. And Shamlee took all of it. Swing and miss from Shamlee in strike 2. So Shamlee definitely deserves a nod for being a hero in helping Reinhardt win that game. And now again, we're at the point in the season where every single game matters. Count now is 1-2. Shamlee thought about swinging. Nonetheless, it will be strike number 3. First strike of the game for Everett. Down goes Shamlee. That's out number 3, retiring the side and ending the inning. Bryan's going to get their chance. Stradley, Sabo, Ramsey due up for the Lions.
Leading off for the Lions for 11, Logan Stradley.
Set to resume play here in the top of the 3rd inning. Stradley at the plate. Stradley was not able to record a hit in the first game of the doubleheader. That one a grounder that just makes its way away from Cade Shamlee, allowing Stradley to get himself on board. So that's going to be his first hit of today. First hit between these 2 games. Single gets himself on board, and Sabo coming up to bat. Sabo, the 3rd baseman. Sabo had 2 hits in the last game, went 2 for 4. And this a grounder, double play chance for the Eagles. 6-4-3 double play is successful. Reinhardt able to turn 2 there and picking up 2 outs in the process. So 2 outs on the board, and that will work our way back to the top of the batting order for the Bryan Lions. Ramsey, the center fielder, back at the plate, struck out in his first plate appearance today. That one's hit right towards Dion. Delivers a nice throw to Dryden House for out number 3. So down goes Ramsey. It's going to be the Eagles as we change sides. It's going to be Phelps, Dion, and Boscarino due up next for the home team.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. Oh, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. If the sky that we look upon should tumble and fall, or the mountains should crumble to the sea, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. And darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand now. Stand by me. Stand by.
Leading off for your Reinhardt Eagles, number 10, Robert Phelps.
So a quick 1, 2, 3 through the order leads us back to the bottom of the third inning and back to the top of the batting order for the Reinhardt Eagles. It's going to be Robert Phelps at the plate. He had a single to lead things off in the first. And so far, the tenor very similar to what it was in the last game. The pitching staffs really controlling the tempo, doing a nice job of holding these talented lineups at bay. Reinhardt jumped out to an early 1-0 lead, and that lead stood for the first 4 innings of the game. Now the 5th is where Bryan began to turn the corner offensively, and then in turn Reinhardt came up with answers. We're going to see what happens here. Right now Reinhardt clinging to a 1-run advantage. If the last game is any indicator, they cannot feel comfortable being ahead by just 1 against this Bryan group. They know that they're going to need to continue to add to their lead to really solidify their spot in this game. Phelps is going to pop one up into the infield. Curcillo's underneath it. Curcillo makes the grab for out number 1.
Batting number 6, Luis Dion.
So down goes Phelps, and now coming up to the plate is going to be Luis Dion. Luis Dion, the second baseman. Thought about swinging, thinks better of it. Matters none, still strike 1. Dion flew out to left field in his last plate appearance. Freshman has really stepped up and made himself into a mainstay within this Reinhardt lineup. And pitch low and in the dirt for ball number 2. Deion's going to pop one up. That goes in the left field. And the catch will be made for out number 2.
Number 8, Luca Boscarino.
2 ABs in a row that Deion flies out to left field. And for the second time today, we'll get a chance to see Luca Boscarino. Boscarino flew out to center field in his last plate appearance. Boscarino still looking for his first hit of the day. Again, was unable to record one in the first game of this doubleheader. Boscarino is going to slice at one, and it will be grabbed by the second baseman, Campos, for out number 3. That retires the side and ends the inning. Things are moving fast here, folks. Right now, the offense is a little bit late arriving. Reinhardt still clinging to life. A 1-run lead.
Leading off for the Lions, number 5, Dante Morton.
Getting things going here in the top of the 4th inning. Reinhardt still ahead, 1 run to none. Morton, the shortstop, coming up to bat. He has one of Bryan's 2 hits in this game so far, with a single that came in the first inning. Adam Christopher remains on the mound and so far making it look very easy for the Reinhardt Eagles. Only surrendered 2 hits to this Bryan lineup, currently pitching a shutout. And with these 1-run leads, the worry is always just how volatile they can be. Anything can happen that really swings the momentum. When you're holding on to a 1-run lead, you're almost kind of walking on a tightrope. And sometimes when you're walking on a tightrope, the wind blows one way and eventually you'll find yourself falling down. So that's what it feels like having a 1-run lead. But with the way that Christopher is pitching, that may be all they need. Adam Christopher, his 3rd strikeout of the game. This time cutting down Morton. Curcio coming up to the plate. He struck out in his last plate appearance. And again, Adam Christopher, last season, his first season in a return from an injury, was really rounding in the form towards the end of the year. You could tell that Coach Burton trusted him in big spots. Had some valiant performances in the Appalachian Athletic Conference tournament as well as the NAIA playoffs. He's carried that momentum into this season where He has been a plus starter for this team, a plus starter for a team with championship aspirations, which is definitely not anything to sneeze at. Count right now is 1-2. Swing and miss by Curcio for strike 3. Fourth strikeout of the game for Christopher. Second time today that Curcio has struck out. Cade Cook, the outfielder, coming up to bat. Cook grounded out to first in his last plate appearance. And this one is getting popped up high into the air. A few Eagles tracking it. And the play will be made for out number 3. That retires the side. Bryan unable to get themselves on the board. Eagles looking to add some insurance as we switch sides. Vargas, Manto, Iceman due up next for the home team.
Leading off for your Reinhardt Eagles, number 4, Adrian Vargas.
Now in the bottom of the 4th inning, Adrian Vargas getting things going for Reinhardt. Still looking for his first hit on the day. His first plate appearance of this game was a line out to the third baseman. And this one, a chopper. The throw will easily be made in time for out number 1.
Number 12, Jacob Manto.
So Vargas, not his usual productive self up to this point, brings up Jacob Manto, the designated hitter. Manto has been very productive today. 2 home runs for Reinhardt. Had one in game 1. And later on, a solo shot in game 2 that gives us the score that we have now, 1-0. That coming off Manto's solo shot. And the guy who manned the DH spot for Reinhardt last season, for much of last season, was Dylan Lewis. Dylan Lewis had one of the better seasons in Reinhardt history. Hit well over 400. Multitude of home runs, big time hits in big spots. Jacob Manto has absolutely solidified himself as a worthy replacement, a worthy next man up for Lewis. Fortunately for Manto, he goes down on the ground out, and out number 2 gets recorded. And this is another guy coming up to the plate, Barry Iceman, who had to step up and propel himself into a role following up a Reinhardt great. Tucker Zadunik was a guy who was a tremendous player for Reinhardt for many years, was a former All-American, multiple-time All-Conference selection. He manned that spot in right field and produced at the plate like no one else could for many years for the Eagles. So you knew that the person coming in that spot was going to have big shoes to fill, as was the person coming into that designated hitter spot. And much like Manto, Iceman has answered the call. He has been tremendous for Reinhardt this year. He's made multiple big plays, and we see his ability to make hits in big-time situations with his walk-off home run that came just moments ago. And Iceman got a lot of that one. It's going back, and it is gone. Right on cue, Barry Iceman stepping up yet again for the Reinhardt Eagles. His second home run of the day, his first home run of this game. Manto and Iceman both with homers today as Reinhardt takes a 2-0 lead.
Now batting, number 16, Juan Pablo Morales.
So Iceman and Manto picking up homers today, stepping up for Reinhardt. Now Juan Pablo Morales comes up to the plate. And if you're Bryan, you feel like your pitching is allowing you to hang around, just keep giving up these solo shots. And Reinhardt, they're very adept at being able to win in a variety of different ways. They know that certain games are going to call for certain ways of playing, certain modus of operation. They've been able to win games in any way that you can imagine. They know how to scrape a few runs together, especially with the capable power in this lineup. Morales pops this one up in the left field, and it's going to go foul. Score is 2-0. 2 solo homers right now, the difference. Everett dealing, and this one is going to be ripped in the left field, but the catch will be made by Stradley for out number 3. So that retires the side. Morales moves to 0 for 2 on the day. Transitioning to the 5th, Bryan now trailing by 2 runs in a game that runs are hard to come by. They're going to need to find some momentum and fast.
Catching number 26, Ryan Stevens. Leading off for the Lions, number 27, Chris Hall.
So a change made for Reinhardt. Number 26, Ryan Stevens, in for Juan Pablo Morales at the catcher spot. Designated hitter, Hall, coming up to bat for Bryan. Hall grounded out in his first plate appearance. Swing and miss from Hall for strike 2. Adam Christopher, so talented. Sometimes when he's out there and he's clicking, he just makes it look so easy, and he seems to be in one of those zones right now. Seems to be in a flow state out there. Reinhardt right now with a 2-run advantage, but Bryan, they can't feel like it's insurmountable. 2 runs can be scraped together. Swing and miss from Hall. With the way that Adam Christopher has been pitching, right now it seems like it's going to be hard to come by any runs at all. We're going to see how they're going to be able to flip the script against him. He now has 5 strikeouts on the day. Shaping up to be a very memorable performance from him. Bryan still has a chance to add a different ending to it. We'll see what they can do here. Campos, the second baseman, at the plate. Campos flew out to right field in his last plate appearance. This one a grounder that leaks into right field. Campos is on board at first with a single. Just the 3rd hit of the game for Bryan. And maybe that's what they needed to try to get things going, to try to get the ball rolling for them, so to speak. Backstop Morris is now at the plate. He grounded out to first in his previous plate appearance. And we know that Campos is absolutely a threat to steal. We'll see if Adam Christopher will do any check-ins with him. And I'm sure if he goes 2 pitches without checking in, Campos will likely make that mad dash. So absolutely something that Ryan Stevens will need to be aware of. We saw there Christopher peeking at him. Christopher is going to deal. It's low for ball number 1. Swing and miss, and we see him. He did go, and that one a little bit wild, allowing him to make his way to 3. So Campos now in a very threatening spot from 3rd with just 1 out on the board. Count at the plate is 1-2. Coach Burton objected about a call, uncertain about what exactly he was objecting to. Nonetheless, there is a man on 3rd, but the count is 1-2 at the plate. This one is going to be popped up in the shallow right field. Iceman makes the grab. He's going to try to cut him down. What a play by Ryan Stevens, getting the grab and tagging him out at home plate. Iceman with the phenomenal throw, and Stevens hanging in the air to catch that one and getting the tag. That's out number 3. The Reinhardt Eagles are showtime today here at Ken White Field. We get set to change sides right now. Reinhardt putting on a defensive showcase. Still ahead 2 runs to none.
Let's go. Dance go, I know you won't. I feel psycho in my new joint. Just can't sit. Gotta get G with it. That's it. Honey, come ride. DKNY all up in my eye. You gotta bag with a lot of stuff in it. Give it to your friend. Let's spin. Everybody looking at me, glancing at the kid. Wishing they was dancing the jig. Hit with his hands a kid. Sing a cigar right from people you are. Just bite it. It's for the look. I don't like it. Your way you hand me on the hand. Stay with play. Give it up, jiggy, make it feel like foreplay. Yo, my cardio is infinite. Big with the styles all in it. Getting jiggy with it. Getting jiggy with it. Getting jiggy with it. Getting jiggy with it. What? You on the ball with the kid? step, you might fall trying to do what I did. Mama, I'ma come close side in the middle of the club with the rubber dub. No love for the haters, mad cause I got 4 seats at the Lakers. See me on the 50-yard line with the Raiders. That Ali, he told me I'm the greatest. I got the fever, for the flavor of a crowd pleaser. DJ play another, from the prison it's sure highness. Only bad chicks riding my whip. South to the west, to the east, to the north, from my hips. So won't you go off, yes, sure, you don't stop.
Leading up for your Reinhardt Eagles, number 17, Dryden House.
So I ain't have to scheme, calm down on my team, calm down on lean. I took off just like a rocket, I like the one Hakeem. Either way it goes, we buying at the stores. We ain't never run out of lean, might as well go on for it. Rex busting out jeans, might as well go on blood.
Moving on to the bottom of the 5th inning, Dryden House, the first baseman, at the plate for Reinhardt. House was able to reach by way of an error earlier in this game. Everett remains on the mound, and with the exception of those 2 solo shots, hasn't really surrendered much against this Reinhardt lineup. Now, unfortunately for him, he has not received a ton of run support. He has not received any run support at all, really. Count at the plate is 0-2. Everett dealing. Misses a bit outside for ball number 1. This one is going to be hit right near the Bryan dugout. In that momentum swing from the last game, Bryan was ahead 3-2. 2 outs on the board, full count. Unable to come away with that victory. It was fair to wonder, would there be a bit of a letdown afterwards? So those are ones that you absolutely want to have, especially when it goes down to the wire like that. They were not able to come away with it. House is going to pop one up in the right field. And the catch is going to be made by the right fielder, Cook, for out number 1. But those are the ones that you absolutely want, and you absolutely just got to have if you're Bryan. They were unable to close it, and this is the main culprit in that case. Shamlee was the one that hit that game-tying homer. But again, at this point in the year, just so many opportunities that you just cannot let go to waste. It's absolutely going to be one that they're going to look back on and wonder what could have been. So just in from Johnson, Tennessee, the Johnson Royals narrowly escaping with a 6-5 win over St. Andrews in the first game of their doubleheader. Next game they have against St. Andrews will start at 6 o'clock later on today. And St. Andrews, they gave them everything they could handle in that one, and That's what this point in the season is for, as Cade Sham Lee goes down to strike number 3.
Robert Bell.
But that's what this point in the season is for. Teams are going to be giving their absolute best effort against these squads at the top. And it's on teams like Johnson, Tennessee Wesleyan, and Reinhardt to be able to fend off those challengers and keep their spots atop the conference, especially when you know that you have 3 teams that are that close in record. You know that anyone can take advantage. As Phelps, speaking of taking advantage, is able to get on board with a hit. That's going to be a single, his second hit of the ball game. So Cade Sham Lee coming up with the hit. Louis Dion now getting ready to come up to the plate. Louis Dion flew out to left field in each of his last 2 plate appearances. But these teams, they know that they're going to get everything they can handle and more from those other squads. Again, it's on them to be able to find ways to win. And during my time as an athlete, anytime it will get down the stretch of a season, whether it be football season, basketball season, as this one is lifted out in the right field, going back over the wall and gone. A 2-run shot from Louis Dion, and the Reinhardt bats are starting to come alive here in Game 3 of this series.
Now batting, number 8, Luca Boscarino.
It's big time there from Louis Dion. Reinhardt now ahead 4-0 against Bryan, giving themselves a little bit of breathing room. As I was saying during my time as an athlete, whether it be football or basketball season, as you get to that later stretch of the year, I always had coaches that were very keen on emphasizing that the playoffs don't start when you get there. The playoffs start early, as Boscarino lifting one deep out the left field, and it is gone. Home run, a moonshot from Luca Boscarino over the left field wall. Reinhardt really starting to pour it on here. It's now 5-0, advantage Eagles. Back-to-back home runs from Dion and Boscarino. And you can tell Reinhardt, they're rounding themselves into playoff form. And that's what it's going to take if they're going to be able to improve upon what they did last year. And really the only thing that they can do to improve upon the way last season went is to make it back to the World Series and finish the job. You know that that's on the mind on a lot of these players, trying to give themselves a chance to make it happen. We seem to be in the midst of one of those trademarked Eagle avalanches with 2 outs on the board. Reinhardt posting 3 runs. First from that 2-run shot from Dion, and then a solo homer from Boscarino, which brings up Adrian Vargas. Vargas 0 for 2 so far today. Did not record a hit in the first game of this doubleheader. You know that he would absolutely love to join in on all the fun that this Reinhardt offense is starting to create for themselves. Everett had a relatively nice outing up to this point, with the exception of those 2 solo shots. Right now, things just getting off the rails for him here in the 5th. He's given up 6 hits in this game. Half of them have been home runs. Vargas pops one up, and it will go foul. Count is 2-2. Everett deals a grounder. And will the play be made? It was a nice job there by Morton to cover that one and corral it, but he was unable to make the throw in time. So Vargas gets on the board with his first hit of the game. So Vargas on base, Jacob Mantooth coming up to the plate. Mantooth had a solo home run that came in the second inning. He has been as hot as any bat in the country thus far, but he pops this one up into left field. And the play is going to be made by Stradley to retire the side and end the inning. Reinhardt picking up some valuable insurance. We're now at that point where we have to discuss it. Bryan down to their last 6 outs. We're going to see what they can do. Due up next for the Lions, Stradley, Sabo, Ramsey.
How could you be so heartless? How could you be so heartless? How could you be so cold as the winter wind when it breeze show? Just remember that you talking to me, though. You need to watch the way you talking to me, yo. I mean, after all the things that we've been through. I mean, after all the things we got into. Hey, yo, I know it's some things that you ain't told me. Hey, yo, I did some things, but that's the old me. And now you wanna give me back and you gon' show me. So you walk around like you don't know me. You got a new friend, well, I got homies. But in the end, it's still so lonely. In the night, I hear him talk, the coldest story ever told. Somewhere far along this road, he lost his soul to a woman so honest. How could you be so honest? How could you be so heartless? How could you be so Dr. Evil? You're bringing out a side of me that I don't know.
Leading off for the Lions, number 11, Logan Stradley.
Resuming play here in the top of the 6th inning. Reinhardt ahead now 5-0 over the Bryan Lions. Stradley, the left fielder, at the plate. Swing and miss, 2 consecutive swings and misses. He's now behind on the count 0-2. Adam Christopher remains on the mound, and he absolutely deserves to be with the way that he's performed thus far. Swing and miss for strike number 3 and out number 1. That is the 6th strikeout of the game for Adam Christopher. Christopher is putting together a signature performance here against the Bryan Lions in Game 3 of this series. Sabo, the third baseman, coming up to the plate, grounded into a double play in his first plate appearance. And this just kind of underscores how dominant Adam Christopher has been in this game. We aren't even 2 complete full times through the order, and we're in the 6th inning with 1 out on the board. That's just how great Christopher's been on the mound for Reinhardt. Right now pitching a shutout, only 3 hits on the board for the Lions. And this is a ground ball. Christopher corrals it, makes the throw in time for out number 2. You could just see the look on Christopher's face. He is locked in for this one. Now 2 outs on the board. Bryan, they're down to their last 4 outs of the game. And we're finally back to the top of the Bryan batting order. Ramsey, the center fielder, at the plate. Ramsey 0 for 2 so far in this game. Grounded out to first in his last plate appearance. That pitch, a strike from Christopher. And these are the types of performances that really can give you confidence in this team going forward as a group to be reckoned with yet again on the national stage. Of course, we know about Andrew Herbert and we know how talented he is, but it's going to be guys like Adam Christopher, guys like Tate Deering, guys like Logan Lynch, Hunter Paulson, guys deeper into that pitching staff, Brock Weiss, and plenty of other guys who have stepped up. Of course, Brett Allen. It's going to take all of those guys to make this team a World Series champ. It's popped up, and Vargas, was he able to make the play? No, he wasn't. Just dropping in front of him. He tried to make a play on it, was unable to do so. So Ramsey gets on base. They're going to call it a hit for Bryan. Morton, the shortstop, now coming up to bat. Morton does have a single, which came earlier in this game in the first inning. 1 for 2 so far. And we're seeing Ramsey trying to steal. Will he be caught stealing? Yes, he will. Nice play made by the backstop, Ryan Stevens. The tag out at second. That is out number 3. That's going to retire the side. Bryan, they only have 3 outs left, but not before the Eagles have a chance to add to their lead. Reinhardt ahead, 5-0.
Después de la playa, si no se camó, yo traigo la toalla y de nuevo nos mojamos. Pero en mi cama te voy a dar tabla de surf, ya. Dime pa' dónde vamos, después de la playa. Si no se camó, yo traigo la toalla y de nuevo nos mojamos. Pero en mi cama te voy a dar tabla de surf, bebé. Dime, ¿vamos por el mambo o no vamos por el mambo? Tú me dices, mami. Zumba.
Now pitching for Bryan College, number 7, Bryce Ingle.
Después de la playa, si no se camó, yo traigo la toalla y de nuevo nos mojamos. Pero en mi cama te voy a dar tabla de surf, bebé. Mami, tú vives lejos, pero como quiera yo voy.
Leading off for your Reinhardt Eagles, number 31, Barry Iceman.
And free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away.
Barry Iceman coming up to the plate. Reinhardt, they have 3 outs to work with and try to create an advantage for themselves that becomes insurmountable for Bryan. Meanwhile, the Bryan Lions are tasked with trying to keep this Reinhardt lineup at bay for just one more inning to give themselves a chance in the top of the 7th. Pitching change has been made. Bryce Ingle, native of Calhoun, Georgia, he's now at the plate for Bryan. The 5'8" redshirt sophomore. So he's the man on the mound, tasked with trying to slow this Eagle lineup down. Iceman, his last plate appearance resulted in a home run. He's 1 for 3 on the day. 1 for 2, rather. This is going to be a high chopper. The bounce, and it tips off the glove. Ingle could not secure it, Iceman's going to reach. They're going to call it an E1. That was a play that Engel was trying to make. He was unable to do so. Iceman is able to get on board. And pinch runner in the game again for Reinhardt, number 35, Cedric Colors. So we're going to see Ryan Stevens for the first time in this game at the plate. Stevens made a tremendous defensive play earlier in this game. A nice throw by Barry Iceman to cut down the defender. Is Colors going to get caught stealing here? No, he will not. He is safe. So Colors making a calculated risk, getting himself in the scoring position at second. And they will then allow Colors to advance from second to third due to the interference. No, there appears that Colors has been called out. So after initial deliberation, they decide that Colors was actually caught stealing. So he's now in the dugout, 1 out on the board. Reinhardt, 2 outs remaining to try to add some insurance. Ryan Stevens had that phenomenal defensive play earlier in this game. Now trying his hand at the plate. Stevens came into the day batting over 300. He was unable to record a hit in the first game of this doubleheader. Right now ahead on the count, 3-1. It's a grounder that makes its way towards the Reinhardt dugout. Full count here, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Full count. Payoff from Engel. Just tipped by Stevens and foul. Stevens again staying alive. And if you're Bryan, you're already trailing by 5 runs. The last thing that you want to do is be in a position to where you have to score 6, 7, 8 runs in 1 inning to put yourself in a chance to win. As Stevens is able to record a base hit, we saw a few Lions trying to make a play, but they could not get it. So Stevens able to get on, and he will be replaced by Ethan Moore, who comes in as a pinch runner. Bryan Stevens gets his first hit today. This brings up Dryden House. House 0 for 2 so far in this game. He flew out to right field in his last plate appearance. And we see Moore immediately making his presence felt, stealing second. Moore now in scoring position. Count is 1-0. Again, Ryan Stevens stepping up with a single, which got him on base. He was replaced by Ethan Moore. Moore showing off the wheels and getting himself in a scoring position. That pitch a bit low for ball number 2. That pitch high, ball number 3. And that pitch off the plate for ball number 4.
Now batting, number
So Dryden House draws the walk.
Lee.
This brings up Cade Shamlee. Shamlee was struck out in each of his first 2 plate appearances. Now a chance to help Reinhardt add some insurance to their total. 2 men on base, House at first, Ethan Moore at second. And that one is well hit by Shamlee, but just over the line on the wrong side of the pole, foul. And Bryan, such a valiant effort in that second game. They just have not been able to get much offensive production in this one. Pitching hasn't been terrible, but Reinhardt, of course, a lineup that definitely has the ability to turn any game on a moment's notice, and that's exactly what this Reinhardt lineup did in the 5th, recording 3 runs. That pitch called a ball, a call that the Bryan fans as well as their players were not happy about. Definitely thought that was something that should have been called a strike, and they've been on the case of the umpires for pretty much this entire 2-game stretch. They really make life difficult on them, and they've been chirping at them for a lot of this game, and that's to be expected. And of course, everyone knows how important these games are, and I'm all for allowing players and coaches and fans to get emotional in that aspect, and kudos to the umpires for understanding that and not allowing it to become bigger than the game. Count is 3-2. It's always something I hate when the coach gets mad at a call. You just got to let the coach get his frustration out. It's not really personal. You're really just a nameless gray face. They're really just more mad at the situation than you. So, nice job by the umpires here today, really shrugging some of that off. Full count, payoff from Engel, and it will be strike number 3. So down goes Cade Shamlee. He gets struck out for the 3rd time today. Reinhardt down to their last out with Robert Phelps coming up to the plate. Phelps is 2 for 3 in this game. 2 big-time base hits. And 2 consecutive strikes thrown from Engel, getting Phelps behind on the count, 0-2. 2 men on for Reinhardt, a chance to add to their total. Engel trying to leave 2 runners stranded. The pitch outside for ball 1. And that pitch good enough for strike number 3. Down goes Phelps. He wasn't happy about the call. Umpire's not going to change his decision. Phelps falls to 2 for 4 on the day. Bryan, they're going to have 3 outs to work with. We're going to see what they're able to do. Do they have some magic left in those bats? Eagles holding on to a lead, trying to close out the series with a sweep.
So good on you, but we ain't got no room to move. No room to move. We need some space, and I know a place outside of town where it don't ever close down. No, we never close down. Yeah, we can two-step. Put your boots on, baby, we can do that. Girl, cut a little loose, you can move that. Move that. Oh, yeah. I'll take you dancing in the country. Levi's in the low thing. Stinging in some red.
shortstop number 7, Miguel Salazar.
I'll take you dancing in a country, lean in lonely, stinging in surrender, swinging on the ball.
Leading off for the Lions, number 5, Dante Morton.
So Bryan College down to their last 3 outs. Morton hitting one deep out to left field, going back, and it is gone. And maybe that's where the momentum starts for Bryan. Solo home run from Morton. First run of the game for the Lions. It's now 5-1 advantage Eagles. Bryan, they're hoping there's more where that came from. Maybe that's what they need to get the bats going.
Number 13, Cameron Mullins.
And for the first time today, we see Mullins coming into the game and entering the batter's box. Curcio was the first baseman. He was replaced by Mullins on defense in that last inning. Now Mullins making his first AB of the day. So that's the first run that Christopher has given up in this game, and comes by way of a solo shot from Morton. He saw something he liked, and you can tell he jumped all over it. It was the first pitch. Swing and miss from Mullins for strike number 2. Another swing and miss for strike number 3. 7th strikeout of the game for Adam Christopher.
Now batting number 26, Cade Cook.
Swing and miss. Strike number 1. The outfielder Cook at the plate. Grounded out in his first plate appearance, flew out to left field in his second. Bryan, they've combed together some hits. They have 5 hits on the board, but they haven't really been able to get anything going consistently. Much credit must go to Adam Christopher and what he's been able to do throughout this game. 7 Ks on the board. Surrendering just 1 run that came by way of that solo shot from Morton. That pitch low and in the dirt for ball number 2. Again, Reinhardt trying to keep pace in that Appalachian Athletic Conference regular season race. Bryan entered this weekend as a swing and miss leading up to strike 3. 8th strikeout of the game for Adam Christopher. But Bryan entered into this weekend with a chance to really make things interesting. Reinhardt had 6 losses, 6 conference losses. Bryan entered this weekend with 7 conference losses. So if Bryan was able to take a game or 2 off of Reinhardt, it could have really made that race interesting. Unfortunately for the Bryan Lions, things not going their way. Game 1 falling 8-3. The last game, it was an absolute classic that they were just on the wrong side of. Reinhardt somehow, some way finding a way to prevail in that one. And now the Bryan Lions are down to their last out of the ball game. What can they do? Play made by Sham Lee. The throw is in time for out number 3. And that's going to do it. The Reinhardt Eagles securing the sweep, a hard-earned sweep over the Bryan College Lions. And even though it was a sweep, it was a very eventful one. Reinhardt giving everything they can handle against Bryan. Eagles coming away with the win. They moved to 32-8 on the year.